From Cambodia to Vietnam, Chapter 26, October 1979. I returned to Phnom Penh on the back of Mang's bike, my heart beating wildly as I absorbed the sights and sounds of the city. Nothing looks the way I remember it. The buildings are charred from fires and their walls riddled with bullet holes. The streets are covered with litter and filled with cavernous potholes. There are many bicycles and cyclos, but few trucks. Gone are the tall, leafy, lustrous flowered trees that line the wide boulevards. Instead, tall brown palms and coconut trees provide little shade for the dry, crumbling city. Though the palm trees are heavy with fruit, I see no people climbing to get it. People say the Khmer Rouge buried corpses next to them, and now the palm milk is pink like thin blood and the fruit tastes like human flesh. Makeshift tents, no longer confined to the poor areas, sprout all over the city. There are people living everywhere, in alleys, in streets, in crumbling buildings and tents. Many are farmers and rural villagers. They move to the city to look for work because their land is littered with landmines. They come to Phnom Penh to escape the Khmer Rouge, who still control parts of the countryside. They arrive and take up residence in the deserted homes. The memory of our life here comes flooding back to me. Eldest brother, I call out to Mang. In the Chinese culture, young children never call their elder siblings by name, as it is considered improper and disrespectful. Eldest brother, will you show me our old house? It's not what it used to be. It is broken down with bullet holes everywhere, but we will go there. He answers and continues pedaling. He tells me he went to see it when he came through the city with Iang and her sister on their way to Vietnam. He says someone is living in our apartment now. There are no documents kept on people's property from before the takeover in 1975. So whoever arrived first and set up residence in the houses or apartments can claim them as theirs. He says it is no longer our home. Still, I want to see the place where I remember feeling joy and happiness. I want to ask him more about our former home, but Mang is quiet now, lost in his own thoughts. The stench of the city and its trash seeps into my nose, making me want to pinch it, but I do not. Instead, I hold tight on to Mang as he steers the bike abruptly left and right to avoid the holes in the road. We arrive at the water port late in the afternoon, but the sun is still hot and beats down on us. Mang holds the bike for me to jump off and tells me to stay where I am as he disappears into a crowd of people with his bike. Vendors yell out their products to people passing by. In the sun, the fish scales on the seafood vendors' arms and faces sparkle and shimmer, reflecting the sunlight. On the rows of tables, big and small fish alike flap their tails on blocks of ice underneath them. It is October, the end of the rainy season and start of the dry season. Mang says that when it's hot, the water in the ocean goes down, so the fish move farther out to sea and are harder to catch. Therefore, the fish displayed here are more expensive than usual. Mang returns a few minutes later with a Yuan fisherman and then quickly ushers me onto a small boat. Once in the boat, he hands the fisherman the small gold nuggets he received selling his bike, and we take off. The boat looks no more than 15 feet in length and perhaps 5 feet wide. Its wooden body is worn and old as the small engine chugs slowly along the Mekong River. As far as my eyes can see, there is water covering much of the land. The bright sun transforms the otherwise green, lush scenery into a magical land of silvery lakes. In it, long black canoes slither like alligators, navigating themselves gracefully on the water. On the other side of the Mekong River, I see orange and gold painted temple roofs and towers erected on muddy red topsoil. The fisherman sits beside a small pile of fish, steering the boat. I sit in the middle with my hair whipping about my face in all directions, the wind cooling my skin. My eyes drift toward the port and all its cacophony. I am leaving Cambodia on a Yuan boat with a Yuan fisherman going to Vietnam. Mang forgot to show me our old home. Then suddenly, a picture of Met Bong lunging at the fisherman's throat with her sickle flashes before my eyes. I quickly shake my head free of the image. I am leaving all of this behind. Many hours later, as we approach Vietnam, the fisherman, in broken Khmer, tells us to lie on the floor and keep our heads down. He unrolls a sheet of blue plastic and covers us with it, leaving a small opening for our heads to stick through, and then piles fish on top of the plastic sheet and motions again for us to keep low. Underneath the plastic sheet, covered in fish, I enter Vietnam. I fight to breathe without choking on the stench of the fish. Once near the port of Chu Doc, the fisherman peels back the sheet and allows us to breathe in fresh sea air. Once we dock, Ming finds a bus station and buys our fares with the Vietnamese money he has saved from his last trip. We are on our way to Saigon. From the windows of the bus, Saigon is a prosperous and bustling city. The streets are crowded with men and women in straw cone-shaped hats. The women are wearing red lipstick and colorful, snug-fitting long dresses that split at the side over loose, flowing pants. In the streets, they talk openly to one another and laugh without covering their mouths. They do not avert their eyes, nor do they glance from one side to another. Their shoulders are not slumped, and their arms not held close to their sides. Taking long, casual strides, they walk without fear as we did in Cambodia before the Khmer Rouge. On every block there are stores displaying wristwatches with flowered bands, black radios blasting Vietnamese songs, televisions projecting hand puppets talking to happy young children, and red traditional dresses on headless mannequins. The streets are crowded with many more bicycles, motorcycles, and compact cars than in Phnom Penh. The food stalls and carts look bigger, cleaner, and are painted in brighter colors than we had in Cambodia. As in Phnom Penh, people sit in alleys and side streets, slurping noodle soup, biting into crispy fried spring rolls and egg rolls wrapped in lettuce. I only wish that someday Phnom Penh will be as happy and rich as Saigon. We live in Saigon for 2 months with Ang's mother and father-in-law, their small one-bedroom apartment. Mang, Yang, and I sleep in the attic. Ang's sister lives in their own place in the city. With no job, Mang and I live off the generosity of Ang's family. Ang and her parents speak fluent Vietnamese because they lived in a Vietnamese community in Phnom Penh. They are now able to meet people, go shopping, and not be so isolated. Ang's family is very nice to us. Unlike Mang and me, they are raucous and laugh loudly when they eat, especially when they drink alcohol. Mang and I do not speak Vietnamese, so spend our days watching people and trying to learn the language. A week after we get there, Ang tells me we are going to the salon to get our hair permed. It has been many months since Aunt Kiang and Krang Trop cut my hair. Sharing a cyclo with her, we weave around the city as the driver maneuvers us through the traffic. I laugh and point out to Ang the neon signs and billboards of movies and giggle in anticipation of having my first professional haircut in many years. Finally, the cyclo stops in front of a salon. While Yang pays the driver, I stare at the poster-side pictures of beautiful women and men with curly brown hair, straight jet black hair, short wavy hair, and hair piled high in a braided bun on top of their heads. Inside, the walls are covered with mirrors and more pictures of beautiful people. Vietnamese music plays continuously on the radio as women snip and clip at their customers' hair. One woman seats me in a chair and proceeds to put my hair in small rollers. Then she pours acidic-smelling lotion onto my hair. After 20 minutes, she removes the rollers and leaves me with a head full of small ringlets instead of my old straight hair. Staring at myself in the mirror, I laugh and pull at the curls, thinking they are beautiful. That night, I sleep on my stomach, afraid to crush the curls, and I dream about Kev. In the evening, I sit on Mang's lap as he reads and translates to me stories about America from an English book he bought in a nearby store. He describes how snow falls in flakes, covering the land in white, soft blanket. I cannot envision snow because the only two kinds of ice I have ever seen are either the blocks we use to cool our meat or the crushed ice we use for snow cones. He says it is more like the ice for snow cones, but softer. I see myself making snow cones and getting rich selling them to American children. Then I can help send money home too. Ming tells me I should call the Yuans by their proper name, Vietnamese. He says Yuan is a derogatory name, and since we are living in Vietnam, we should not use it. In Saigon, Ming's family grows fuller each day from the spring rolls and soups that Ying makes. My body is also filling out, my clothes everywhere, though my stomach is still bigger than my hips. In December, Ming tells me we relocate to Long Dang to live on a houseboat with one of Yang's sisters and her family in the lower end of the Mekong Delta. When we arrive at the port, Yang's sister picks us up in a small boat to take us to our new home. On the water, there appears to be a city of houseboats with many hundreds of them docked closely together. Some are 40 feet long with 2 levels, sturdy wooden walls, brightly painted roofs, and strands of colorful beads hanging from the doors. Others look like makeshift cloth tents or small thatched roof huts floating on the water. Out on the decks, women cook food in clay ovens and converse loudly with their neighbors. Little children sit on the decks with their feet dangling in the water as the boat rocks gently back and forth. Laughing, one little girl splashes water into the faces of her siblings who bob up and down in the water beside their boat. I stare at the girls with envy and think about waiting another 5 years until I see Ju again. The small boat slows as we approach our destination. Our 2 houseboats are 20 feet long and 10 feet wide and are docked side by side. The wooden walls and roofs are aged and gray from the rain and sun, but otherwise sound. Yang's sister and her 5 boys live in one boat. Mang, Yang, and I live in another with a Vietnamese man who is part of the operation. His job is to watch us and keep us safe. As our front man, he speaks for us whenever our neighbors ask about our background, why we are there, or what other part of the river we have lived on. He is in his early 20s and seems nice, but I still don't quite trust him. Living on the boats allows us to blend in with other people since it is not unusual for the houseboats to change locations often. It will not arouse suspicion if we disappear one night and head for Thailand. While sitting outside on the deck, we are not to speak Khmer or Chinese, only Vietnamese, and we cannot make friends or form bonds with anyone outside the family. Day after day, with nothing to do, I learned to fold origami and to speak Vietnamese. On the small deck, the boys and I make paper kites and fly them in the wind. When it gets hot, I dive off the houseboat into the murky water, taking care not to drink it. The water looks yellowish, and I often swim away from the dead animals, garbage, and feces that float by. For 3 months, we lived slow, uneventful lives with our boats docked in the same spot. Then, in February 1980, another Vietnamese man joins us on our boat. One night, the Vietnamese crew directs us to go inside, and in the dark, we sit nervously as the boat moves slowly away. Suddenly, loud voices call out to us, asking us to stop. My heart lurches to my throat. "We're only a fishing boat," our front man says. "We want to see what kind of fish you have," the voice persists. After a few minutes of exchange, our man succeeds in bribing the intruder to go away with his gold watch, and all is quiet again. Our boat continues to move steadily, and I fall asleep. Hours must have passed, for when I wake up again, we are in the middle of the ocean. All around me, I see nothing but miles and miles of water. Soon, many hands pick me up and lead me to a rope ladder hanging off the side of the larger boat floating alongside ours. Quickly, I climb the rope onto another boat. On the deck of the 30-foot boat, 7 crewmen are busy pulling people onto the boat and hustling them under the deck. All through the morning, many more small boats arrive to deliver their passengers, and by late afternoon, 98 people are on board, each having paid for their escape in 5 to 10 ounces of pure gold. They crouch underneath the deck, ready to make their way to freedom. For 3 days and 2 nights, we ride the ocean waves in the Gulf of Thailand, swaying and rocking as if in a wooden coffin. A crew member sits by the small doorway that leads to the deck to make sure people stay below. The boat must stay bottom heavy, he says, or it will tip over. Beneath the deck, the lucky ones sit leaning against the side, while the unlucky ones crouch in the middle, their heads between their knees. The air is stale and smells of sweat and vomit. Wedged between Mang and Ang, I hold my breath as people retch all around us. Soon it grows dark, and through the deck opening, I steal glances at the bright stars as they twinkle gaily at me. I crawl over to the opening and stand, basking in the glow of the moonlight. "Sir, may I please come up?" I whisper to the guard. His face peers down at me, then nods his head. Slowly, I climb the steps and sit beside him. The breeze is cool as it fans my body, and the guard smiles at me and points his finger at the sky. It is so beautiful, black, never-ending, and brightened by billions of stars. It is so breathtaking, I wish I could stop time and exist in this dreamland forever. Everywhere around us, the sky meets the water, creating a clear separation of heaven and earth. Somewhere up there in heaven, I hope Pa, Ma, Kev, and Gek are watching over me. I wake up in the morning to the loud voices of crewmen. "Sharks!" they exclaim. "If they crash into our boat and put a hole in it, we're all dead." Sliding to the edge, I catch a glimpse of the bodies of a group of silver-skinned sharks, as big as I am, and swimming straight for our boat. They dunk under at the last second. I quietly pray to Pa to chase them away. After a few minutes, the sharks become bored and stop following us. When the water is safe again, the crew allows a small group of people to come up to the deck for air. After a few minutes, they are sent back down until everyone has had a chance to go up on the deck. Because the crewman likes me, I'm allowed to stay on deck all day. The next day, the sky turns black with angry storm clouds. Bursts of rain and thunder crash into the ocean and create large waves that threaten to swallow our boat. The captain sends all but the crew below deck and shuts the lid tightly on us. The passengers huddle closely together and pray, yet the sea becomes rougher and the boat rocks from side to side like a pendulum, and with each swing the waves violently slap against the sides of the boat. People vomit and moan loudly, afraid of their imminent deaths. The cries echo and bounce into each other in the dark, deafening me. Leaning against the wall, I push my index fingers deeper into my ears to attempt to block out the sound. With my ears plugged, I hear only the soft whizzing of my breath going in and out. After what feels like many hours, the boat gradually decreases the violent rocking and all is quiet again. After the storm, the crewman opens the lid and fresh air rushes back into the cabin. Stepping over sick bodies, I climb up to the deck before anyone can stop me. The clouds part and out comes the sun from behind them, shining brightly on us. The deck is wet and soaks my pants as I sit down and inhale the sea fresh air. While the crewmen pass out our food rations, 2 balls of rice and 6 ounces of water, I sit and watch the sunset in the middle of the ocean. The clear blue sky is the perfect setting for the orange, red, and gold palette of the gods. The colors shimmer majestically before disappearing with the sun into the water. I squeeze my eyes shut, not understanding why such beauty torments me with pain and sadness. On the 3rd day, the captain spots another ship in the distance. He has made many trips before and knows they are pirates. On previous trips, pirates have stolen valuables, killed people, raped and abducted girls. They know well the route of the boat people and travel the sea looking to steal their valuables. We, on the other hand, know the pirates' intentions and have devised a plan of our own. Aang's sister made candies and hid bits of gold in them. Some families sewed gold and jewelry into the linings of their bras, the waistline of pants, in sleeves, behind buttons, or in underwear. Others wear their gold as teeth, and some swallow diamonds and other jewelry, knowing they can make themselves throw up or get diarrhea and retrieve the items later. The captain speeds up our boat and tries to outrun the pirate ship, but to no avail. It is much bigger and faster than ours, and rapidly gains on us. Meanwhile, the women work frantically to ugly themselves up by smearing black charcoal paste on their faces and bodies. With ashen faces, some of the younger, prettier girls reach into the bags we have vomited into and scoop out handsful of it to smear it on their hair and clothes. Following Aang's lead, I grab the charcoal paste and cover my face and body with it. As the pirate ship comes nearer and nearer, the captain sends everyone but the crew under the deck. Crouching between Aang and Mang, my stomach churns from fear and the putrid smell. I do not know what to expect, and only know them from the pictures and books I've seen. Flashes of ugly flags with skulls and bones, swords slashing at people's throats, and long knives cutting out our hearts edge their way into my consciousness. Slowly, our boat stops, and my heart leaps as heavy footsteps jump aboard. Seconds later, the door to the deck flings open. "Come out! It's okay," the captain yells at us. "These are just friendly Thai fishermen." His voice does not sound to me as if his throat has been cut. The passengers refuse to come out and stay hidden beneath the deck. They only want to help us. They have invited us all to their ship for food and to stretch for a few minutes. The captain assures us there is no harm in doing what they ask. Breathing a sigh of relief, I climb out with Mang and Aang. To my surprise, the pirates do not look scary at all. They have no swords, wear no eye patches, and have no skull flags anywhere on their ship. They are dark-skinned and have facial features very much like us Cambodians. The boat is maybe 10 times the size of ours, with room enough for 98 people to walk and stretch. True to their word, they give us rice with salted fish to eat and allow us to drink as much water as we want. Afterward, I walk and find a real toilet with flushing water and seats like the ones we had in Phnom Penh. While on the boathouse, when we had to go, we squatted in a hollowed-out weaving basket hovering over the water at the edge of the boat, and had to hold onto a pole so as not to fall in the ocean. As soon as I begin to relax, the captain announces that we are to return to our ship. Before we can get back on board, however, we have to file into a single line to meet our new friends. From out of nowhere, the pirates seem to pop up all around me, and they increase in number so that now there are many more of them. Ian quickly hands me a small matchbox. In it is a small jade Buddha pendant in a gold frame that was paused. I shake as a pirate walks up to me. He bends down so his eyes meet mine. My throat swells as he looks into my eyes. I have what he wants in my pocket. "Do you have anything for me?" he asks, smiling, in broken Khmer. Looking down, I slowly shake my head, not daring to look at his face. My heart pounds so hard I think it will burst through my clothes. He does not believe me and reaches into my pocket, pulling out the matchbox. I hear him shake the box, and the Buddha moves around inside. He slides open the box and takes out the Buddha. "Can I have this?" he asks, meekly. I nod my head. "You can go back to your boat." He takes paused Buddha and puts it in his pocket. Fighting back tears, I walk toward the boat. While the pirates' bodies search everyone on board, the other pirates ransack our small boat, taking diamond rings, sapphire necklaces, gold nuggets hidden in sacks of cloths. On the deck, people hand over their valuables without protest. Our family does not have any gold for them to take. Mang had anticipated the Thai pirates and left all of Ma's jewelry with Khoi in Cambodia. Though they took the one thing that means the most to me, the captain tells us we should consider ourselves lucky. When we are all back on the boat, the pirates offer directions to the Thai refugee camp. Our captain thanks them politely, seemingly bearing no grudges or anger, and the pirates wish us luck and wave goodbye as we sail on. "Land! Land!" someone yells many hours later. I am bolt upright in no time. After being on the ocean for 3 days, I'm at last staring at the glorious sight. Real land with green trees and grass. We have heard that many boats get lost coming to Thailand and end up in the Philippines or Singapore, where the refugees on board starving to death before they are picked up by the ocean police. "Not just land, but Lam Sing refugee camp," the captain says confidently. A crowd of people are gathered on the port, waiting to see if their relatives or friends are on board. Everyone rushes up on the deck at once, causing the boat to sway and dip heavily to one side. The boat passengers wave wildly, laughing and yelling the names of friends and family. The captain screams for everyone to stay calm or the boat will tip over, but I do not pay attention to him. "We made it!" I holler, my arms flapping up and down like wings.